Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Wario Land. I'm your host TPC Gamer, and in our last episode, we completed Sherbet Land, without me wandering off into what is and is not the correct spelling of sherbet. And now we're in Stove Canyon, and we are met with an encroaching wall of lava that, to be fair, it looks absolutely fantastic with the Game Boy player's colour palette. But you remember when the Super Game Boy let you pick from like 50 different palettes, and then it let you design your own if you didn't like those? How on earth did we just completely forget about that kind of functionality? Whatever. We have a key, and we need to keep this with us for the entirety of the rest of the stage. This is one of the two treasures that was always an absolute pain in the ass to get. But I don't remember where the last one is, just that you need to carry a specific power-up through the whole stage, and the game doesn't tell you that until the point where it's too late to go back and get the power-up that you need. I mean, there aren't many instances when the game is outright malicious when it comes to getting secrets, but, you know, it has its moments. Also, this right here, this is where you need to use the duck jump. Or, you know, be small, or use the dragon helmet. I prefer the duck jump, because I've got enough leeway to do it. Also, look at that garlic. Like, they knew. They knew it was unreasonable to expect you to carry the key and your power through the whole stage. I mean, they knew. Now, this one has always kind of confused me, because it's, I mean, not really a treasure. But unless I'm missing something, that was a cannonball. I used to think that maybe Wario was putting together a pirate kit or something, but I mean, some of the other elements don't make sense either. Oh, crackle, ignoring you and moving on! And also showing off a glitch in the game. If you get hit while you duck, then the game shows Wario's big ducking sprite, because you don't have one when you're small. I don't know, maybe Treasure G is meant to be a crystal ball or something. I don't know. Point is, I got it, I'm awesome, let's play Course 21. This music is also pretty awesome. It's not the most memorable tune on the soundtrack, I don't think, but it does a good job of putting you on edge. Oh, and it's gonna be especially useful if the game's gonna keep throwing collapsing bridges at me like that. It's like I said last time, I'm gonna be more than a little jumpy in this world. I don't do so well with instant death pits and platformers. That colour scheme looks really good, Game Boy player. Nice work on knowing colour design better than I do. Although, to be fair, I do know why they let you pick the colours with the Super Game Boy, but not with the Game Boy player. You see, the Super Nintendo didn't actually have the ability to emulate Game Boy games, so the Super Game Boy was just your standard Game Boy hardware repackaged in a SNES cartridge. Again, lateral thinking with ancient technology, and I feel no shame in using the checkpoint for this stage. I'm probably going to screw up this section. We're not going to do that. We'll try again. But yes, this game is running on a GameCube, which in turn was designed to emulate the Game Boy Advance, which in turn was able to emulate the Game Boy Classic. This whole thing's just emulators and Game Boys all the way down, you know? Whoa! What are you doing, game? It's like you're trying to get me killed. Incidentally, this is another stage where I feel it helps to bring in the jet helmet. I mean, you can skip a lot of the platforming and collect all the coins in one go. But it does stop you from feeling like a cool guy when you do amazing leaps like that. And I could swear they used to put something above that door. Oh, well, it would make sense if they didn't, because the exit is right here. I just need to remember to hit the jump button and actually go to the exit instead of waiting for it to come to me. Yeah, I feel kind of bad for the special stages because they must have had a lot of time and effort put into coding them, but I can't imagine why anybody would play them because they're just so risky, I suppose. I mean, it takes a lot of effort for very little reward. Or maybe not. I mean, I put a surprising amount of effort into these videos. surprising here meaning more than none at all. And I don't mind if they don't get a huge response. It's just fun to do it. Wish I could take that attitude with my job, am I right? And you know, I've often wondered how that goes in the video game industry, because I do a bit of game programming as a hobby of mine. I mean, it'll never go anywhere, and I'll probably never release any of it to the public. It's just, you know, fun to tinker around with C# every now and again. I did not expect that to miss, but there it is. And I'm not going beneath that bridge, because it's a trap. The wood collapses. Anyway, I think that if I was designing games professionally, I would have deadlines and timetables and get this job done by then kind of things. And those are not a great deal of fun to me. I mean, I think this is why I really want to be the ideas guy. Because, like, I can throw out concepts and ideas like sparks on a Catherine wheel on a good day. And then it's the job of everyone else to make it. That was a really awkward way of phrasing it, Andy. Well done. Yeah, I really like the obstacle course kind of setup they've got going on with these ladders. I'm not sure why, it resonates well with me. And I think it's a shame they don't do it again for the rest of the game. Also, you can get those coins along the bottom. You just have to use the jet hat and time it so you miss the potobos. But honestly, I don't trust myself with this analog stick. I mean, I am surprised I even made it this far without falling off. And again, no bonus at the end. Weird. Especially if you're gonna make me deal with these birds, game. That is just the worst. Alright, there you go. Jet helmet and callous disregard for level design wins through. Incidentally, if you use the jet hat, you can tap the B button and just fly indefinitely. I mean, I think that's why they set up the 10 coin doors for the checkpoints and level exits. Like, you have to actually play the level to some capacity if you want to complete it, rather than just jumping up and flying over everything. Aha! Now this level is what I thought the last level was going to be. But now that I'm here, I know what this level is, and I instantly remember where the secret exit is. Kinda. I remember what you have to do to get there, which is close enough. And you know, to give the Game Boy player its dues, it's really interesting to see the trucks rendered in the same colour as the sprite layer. Because it suggests to me that they're actually enemies that carry you without attacking. It makes sense too, because you get a heart when they fall into the lava. Oh, and heck yeah, I'm going to use the checkpoint. I want to get the secret exit first, and it's one of the tricky ones. And if I remember right, I only ever really got it before by using the jet helmet, or exploiting a move in the game physics that lets you jump in midair. Kinda like that one thing you can do in Donkey Kong Country. Nope! I friggin' hate these bats, you guys! Although I do like that they are exactly the same AI as the pterodactyls, but they look different, so now they're a different enemy entirely. Shut up, you guys. No, I think this is the one that... Yes, it is! Now, don't screw it up, because you can actually jump through that platform and get stuck. It's almost like the game's trolling you, and loving while it is doing it. Now, quite what stage this one leads to, I've no idea. It's about this point we reach the tipping point for knowing the game inside and out to only having a vague idea what's going on. Although, frankly, I go through life only ever having a vague idea of what's going on, so... You know what? You can take from that what you will. Oh. I thought there was a stage in World 5 that has a door just out in the middle of the stage and waiting for you to bring the key to it, but I might be misremembering it and putting it in World 4. And that's cool. I didn't need that coin anyway. Whatever. Oh! I remember this! This one's a puzzle level! And if I remember rightly, each of these doors has a couple of switches, and you have to flip them in the right order if you want to get the key and get them back out again. Now, incidentally, there is a puzzle a bit later on that I am dreading, because I can't remember how it goes. I just remember it's really difficult, so... You know, hopefully that doesn't... Hopefully I don't get too hung up on that one. Oh, and there's the key, apparently. You know, for as much as I love this game, and as many times as I played and replayed it as a kid, I do not remember this stage. Although it's still pretty much free treasure, am I right? Place your bets now on what this one's going to be. I'm going to guess some kind of plastic cow. But only because that's the first thing I saw when I looked over to my desk to pick a treasure at random. Maybe at least some decent controller skills. Or the Jules Rimet trophy! Oh, so that's where it went. Okay, at least I am on form. I mean, there is sort of a New Game Plus feature for this game, where if you load a completed save file, the levels with hidden treasures in them flash on their respective world maps. It's very helpful if you get a game over, which causes you to lose all or some of your treasures. Oh, would you look at that, we're at the end already. But I'm not gonna do that, though. Not yet, anyways. I'm going to explore the rest of this level. Hopefully in a timely fashion, so I don't die from a timeout. I think the idea of a timer is kinda something that platforming games need to move away from. It's like auto-scrolling stages. Unless there's a good reason for it. Like Stove Canyon 1. Auto-scrolling stages are silly unless you're being chased by a giant wall of lava, because then I'll allow it. But, again, I'm trying to apply rigid and real-world logic to a game where I'm flying over giant ducks and stealing their pocket change. Maybe I should just relax and enjoy the game, you know? Good trick if I can do it. You see how jumpy this stage is making me. And it's only going to get worse if I keep having to do platforming over lava. I mean, there is just something about a little sprite that says, if you get this wrong, you're finished, that just makes it that much more heated. Again, it's one of those things that used to put me on edge as a kid, and now I play the game with an understanding of game design theory. I know why they did what they did, and at so many points in the game. Incidentally, my computing degree is not a game design degree, even though I designed a game to get it. Like, my university did offer a game design, but they didn't. That was stupid! And what a save! Thank you, platform timing. And yeah, I don't need to flip that switch, I've got the rabbit hat so I can get out this way. Yeah, anyway, no, nobody told me that my university did a game design degree until I was at the end of my 3-year course, because they figured I wouldn't be interested in that for some reason. Probably for the best, though. I mean, as much as I want to do game design and creation as a career, so does everyone else. And I think I did better to go into retail. Like, it's boring and monotonous, but it's safe. Oh, and look at that. I think I did well to pick this one last. This is the big finish room. Flip the switch, Andy. You can't cheat your way out of this one. There we go. But yeah, 100 coins in a rabbit hat was certainly worth coming here. 125 is clearly a bigger number than 2. Or whatever it was I had when I considered just leaving the level earlier. I mean, I don't think skipping the level would really impact the gameplay in any way, but I am making it my mission to show off as much as I can in this LP, so I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and hey, we're amassing enough money to be vaguely relatable in years now. 1936, when Prohibition ruled Chicago and Elliot Ness and his men took down Al Capone. And I only know it was vaguely around 1936 because of time splitters. Like, I don't know much about American history. We never covered it in school. All we talked about was every single war that Britain ever joined in. Except for that one in 1775 when absolutely nothing important happened. And like, 2 people get that joke. Story of my life. Although, to marry up the 2 threads I've got on just now, I would like to see a game that's like Grand Theft Auto or one of those, but set in Prohibition Chicago. Mainly because I want the whole game with dialogue like, "Now listen here, Toots. You tell your John the dapper swindler don't like lollygaggers, see? You wanna go home in a Chicago trenchcoat? Yeah." I mean, I feel a world with that game in it would be a better world. Even though it kind of violates my principal rule of game design. Like, if you... Whoa! Jesus, game, what are you doing? Didn't know that was there. Could have fallen into the pit or something. Oh, by the way, this is what you missed by me getting the secret exit first. Mind-blowing, right? Anyway, if your elevator pitch for your game runs like an existing game but with X, back to the drawing board. Try again. Oh, so close to my birthday. But hey, 1984 was still a good year. At least I think it was 1984. That's what Minitrue said, and therefore it must be. Why would they lie? And I know I've said this about plenty of things before, but I really like the look of this stage because of one aesthetic touch. You see the little shadow marks on the walls in the background? That was smart. The shadows make it look like this level is taking place in an enclosed cavern, rather than a giant cave like all the others. I mean, it creates a much more enclosed and claustrophobic feel compared to the other stages, and it's a lot more anxious, I suppose? I mean, especially when you consider we're going through a bunch of tight corridors here as well. Also, did you see that for muscle memory? As soon as you go there, hit jump, bonus heart container or whatever. And there's no trick to getting those coins. By the way, just hold right and Wario's inertia takes you to the lower platform. He moves pretty well when he's in the air. Okay. So this is the reason why I use the checkpoint. Whoop! There we go! Okay. As you can see, I'm not so great with these sinking platforms. That's kind of why I use the checkpoint, and also the boss has a random element to him. It's very easy to die. I mean, at least it doesn't make sounds or call its attacks. I mean, that is another gripe that I have with some of the more modern games, especially the Mario ones, or Nintendo ones at least. Not every character needs to talk every time they do every move. You know, I always forget if I have to walk off that, or jump off that, or what. Okay, this guy's called Fun Fun, and did you see sprite layer issues when he appeared? No, you didn't! Come on already. Okay, so, when this guy hurls out flaming snot, you have to let it bounce once, catch it, and throw it at him. And try to hit him, ideally, not throw it over the top of him, because it was a super neat three-pointer that I scored, but not what I wanted. When he sticks his tongue out like that, he'll crack the boulders beneath him, and if he hits a cracked boulder, it will break. And you can see why beating this guy is dependent on luck. If all he's going to do is crack these boulders, you can just watch him do it and perish. And it's double plus stupid, because you need the floor in order to catch the projectiles. So, once he takes out enough of the floor, you may as well just throw yourself in the pit and speed things up a little bit. And you know, I kind of like to think that this guy has a giant body, but all you can see is his head. Kind of like the not racist guy at the end of the Great Cave Offensive. Oh! I did not think I was going to win this! I was going to say something else, but I'm glad I took my time. Got a last-minute do-over. Although maybe I should. 97 coins is a pathetic haul. I can do that standard level. Forget it, I'm going gambling. See if I can make that money back. This will not backfire. I'm gonna try Lefty Bucket again. They wouldn't dare pull that trick twice. Yeah! Confirmation bias? What confirmation bias? I'm gonna try Lefty Bucket again. They wouldn't dare pull that trick twice. Yeah! That actually went better than I could possibly have imagined it going. And it makes up for the relatively low haul I got from the boss itself. Another peril of the boss removing the platforms, incidentally, because you can die after beating the boss, which means you have to beat him and survive if you want a flag. And I got a flag! Nice! And this takes us to our next stage, which is the SST Cup, apparently. But that is a sailboat, not a steamship. This is an outrage! Playthrough is cancelled, effective immediately!